Answer from Jean-Paul Pougala on the lies of the West in Libya, Part 2. Jean-Paul Pougala. Region, Middle East and North Africa. Theme, Media Disinformation, US-NATO War. 3. Gaddafi and longevity of its power. One reason to bomb Libya: that the Libyan guide spent too many years in power. 42. The longevity record of the politicians in power is not owned by Gaddafi, let alone by Africans, but by Westerners. Take 4 examples of 4 countries that bombed Libya to export their model of democracy. Him. USA, former Ku Klux Klan member, Robert Byrd, photo, who acknowledged in his memoirs in 2005 orchestrating a move to the U.S. Congress in 1964 to delay the law on the civil rights of blacks, served in the Senate U.S. continuously for 56 years. Born November 20, 1917, and member of the Democratic Party and senator from West Virginia, he will sit on the Congress of the United States from January 1959 to his death on June 28, 2010. That's 63 years in total by adding the 6 years that it has passed the House of Representatives, where he entered January 20, 1953, when President Harry Truman ceded his place to the White House to Dwight Eisenhower, and he is left only that because of the death, chaired Obama. Before him, Mr. Carl Hayden was senator for 56 years and 319 days from 1912 to 1969. And many others. Knowing that a senator American is 10 times more powerful than African head of state, this gives an idea of the depth of the political longevity. In France, Louis Philippon was mayor of Jouvigny-en-Aisne, for 69 years, 1929 to 1998, Philippe de la Moissonnière-Cauvin, was mayor of La Fontlay in Seine-Maritime for 63 years from 1945 to 2008. Hubert Andin, was for 59 years mayor of the Champ de la Pierre-Orne from 1946 to 2005. Roger Sini, 90 years old, is now the mayor of La Bastide de Baucenac in the Ariège, a position he held since October 1947, that is to say 64 years, perhaps in 2014 he seek re-election. Land of the French Revolution, there will he a candidate for the fight? This is the same case for Mr. Arthur Richier, 89 years old and mayor of Faucon-Duquer in the Alpes de Haute-Provence since 1947 to date. Pierre Abelin, 1909 to 1977, French politician who will combine the functions of minister in 4 governments, Schuman in 1947 to Chirac in 1974, Member of Parliament from 1945 to 1974, Mayor of Châtellerault, from 1959 to his death in 1977. And when he dies, he is replaced for mayor by his wife, because his son Jean-Pierre Abelin, who is only 27 years old, needs time to take the heritage and dad kick ass, and he is the joysticks just a year later and became a member of Vienna from 1978 to today, General Council from 1977 to today, Vice President of the Council from 1982 to today. And since 2008, he added to these powers, the post of the mayor of that city. Of what use was the French Revolution? What would have happened if this saga had been spent in an African family? It would simply concluded that Africans cling to power. Here is the detail of this democratic dynasty system in French is used to export the bombs in Libya. Roselyne Bachelot, the current Minister of Solidarity and Social Cohesion, was 23 years, 1988, took over from her father Jean Narkin, had been for 20 years member of the Maine ET lawyer from 1968 to 1988. Is this enough to buy up all the inheritance dad, since it seeks to add a new function, Mayor of Angers? His son Pierre Bachelot, born in 1970 between the Parliament at the age of 22 years as a mom wizard. The little son of genius accompanied the mother as parliamentary advised when mom became successively Minister of Ecology in 2002 and Minister of Health in 2007. That was the year that the young Pierre will take its autonomy in 37 years, since will be appointed to a custom created for him by MOM to INPE, National Institute for Prevention and Health Education, despite his training in private art. She is not beautiful democracy in countries of the French Revolution? We must quickly export to Libya. In Italy, Giulio Andreotti, photo, was elected in 1946 and today he votes as a senator for life, i.e. for 65 years. As he no longer had the strength to do the campaign, he was appointed senator for life. He has accumulated his duties as MP and President of the Italian Council, a position he held 7 times in 20 years, from February 17, 1972 to April 24, 1992. Meanwhile, his party remained in power without interruption from 1946 and 1992, i.e. 46 years. And will that swept through righteousness corruption. For comparison, the Gaddafi party has only 42 years in power in Libya. In the UK, the situation is catastrophic when we do not speak of longevity of Elizabeth II as Queen of 16 independent countries since 1952. In 1942 at only 16, she is already named Chief of the Army and enters Review the Troops. Classified by the World 214th Fortune Forbes magazine for only deserves to be born, it costs the British $43 million per year. The Queen has no power? And if Gaddafi was to become the King of Libya? What would have happened if Gaddafi had established an emirate with his family, like Qatar involved the bombing? What would they say if for the wedding of a son of Gaddafi had declared a holiday, immobilized whole nation? Just as it happened in London for the wedding of Prince William and Kate April 29, 2011? France 24 Television has calculated the cost of this festive day to €6 billion in the British employers. This democratic folly we want export in Libya has cost the Mayor of London €22 million for security alone. Meanwhile, tuition fees per year in the British public universities were multiplied by 3, from €3,900 to €10,700. Canada remains a colony must pay $50 million Canadian per year to support the British royal family. Meanwhile, according to Statistics Canada, tuition fees in Canadian universities increased between 1996 and 2002, for example, in the province of Ontario 141% for the Faculty of Law, 241% for medicine and 315% in dentistry. And one wonders how well can they claim to compete with China on intellectual specialties penalizing the acquisition of such advanced knowledge, by their youth. In Africa, to date, no African politician has beaten the records of inconsistency, at any level of politics. Moreover, what is required of a politician is his record. Why this would it not apply to the Libyan president? But to get an idea of his political record for his country, you just ask the question of why there is never a single Libyan on too many unseaworthy vessels that fail on the Italian coast of Lampedusa? Why Libyans do not they flee their country? But also, if Gaddafi is this evil dictator, why is the African country with the largest number of foreigners, citizens of the USA, France, GB, do they feel better in Qatar or Libya? And what about the fact that the flag of the Libyan rebellion is that of royalty? It's like the French rebels today brandished the flag of the kings of France, that is to say that Western wage war in Libya to carry back 43 years, to spend a republic was it imperfect, to a royalty, provided that the new king is docile, and oil money that banks meet the show, he can be sure that we place him the carpet everywhere in the West. Thank you. Subscribe and stay taped on my YouTube channel Strategy Pan.